Welcome to Founder Voice Podcast, the space for bold, empowering, raw, and unfiltered conversations about business, relationships, and everything that makes us fierce. No filters, no fluff, just real talk. Season 2 is here and we're going even deeper. Get ready to own your voice, break barriers, and step into your power unapologetically. Let's get into it.
Hey everybody, we're back with Found Her Voice podcast. Today I'm sitting down with Keneila. She's going to tell you all about all the good stuff that she is doing down in Lexington. How are you?
I am here and I'm tired as hell. Yeah, I'm tired.
God love her. God love her. What time did you get up today?
I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning. You all know that is when I'm going to bed. So let's talk about this because you know I'm a night owl. Yes, I know. I know. Tell them what you do.
Oh God, the morning routine?
No, tell them what you do for a living, girlfriend. I'm blonde right now. I'm feeling like
Listen,
I'm not.
like I said, I've been up since 5 a.m. No, I am a head spa / salon suite owner. So I also do social media management on the side for a corporate company. But yeah, I own my own salon suite in Brandon Crossing, basically Lexington, but technically Nicholasville. Come see me.
Tell them where to come see you at.
Oh, do I gotta give the whole address?
Well, how are they gonna know?
Okay, it's 243 East Brandon Road. It's Image Studios at Brandon Crossing in Nicholasville. Come see me.
Yes.
Suite 116.
Yes. Going there for that nice scalp massage.
Oh yeah.
Like how long can I get a scalp massage for? Like 30 minutes?
I do up to 120 minutes for a full service.
All right. Hold on. Let me get my
So, yeah.
phone so I can go ahead and book. Can I book that online or can I
Yeah,
just
you
book that
can.
with you
Yeah,
right now?
I got a little Gloss Genius situation. Yes, I got an official website.
Keneila, tell me, what do you do for like an hour and 20 minutes with the scalp massage?
Okay,
Break it down for me, girl.
Break it down. So I have a scalp microscope. And I'll take it, we'll evaluate the scalp, kind of see what's going on. Because a lot of people don't know what's going on their head. And so we'll kind of evaluate, take some pictures for like a before and after. Okay. And then we'll do I call it like a dry scalp treatment.
Yeah.
So we'll, evaluate what we need. I have so many different products. I don't really choose one line because people need different things. And we'll do like a little like detox, dry, and then I'll massage the scalp for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's usually when everyone falls asleep.
Yes.
And then we'll go to my bowl, and that's when, people prop their feet up. I have a nice little weighted warm blanket, and I'll deep cleanse the scalp for, I usually twice just because that double cleanse really gets in there. Okay. If someone has buildup, if someone's maybe a little bit oilier, kind of adjust from there. And then while that's kind of seeping in, I might start my facial. So I do a facial for the 120-minute service.
Girl!
So I might cleanse and like clear that off, rinse it off, and maybe sometimes use the water to kind of rinse off like the forehead area, maybe, get the cheeks and all that fun stuff. And then I'll do a deep condition. And then while we're deep conditioning, I'll steam the hair. So I'll put the steamer on, and it's like a facial steamer / like head. So it kind of gets this whole region.
Yeah. Yes.
And while that's going on, I'll usually do a hand massage just to kind of just relax the body. I notice a lot of people carry tension in their hands.
Yes.
And hands and ears are like super neglected. I know it's not like super important, but I feel like you can see a person's age by their hands. So I really try to focus on that. If they want a light manicure, I'll include it in the service. If they're not comfortable with that, I'll leave it at just the massage. And then once they're done steaming, I'll do the actual scalp massage, and that's where I have my fun tools. And so I have the gua sha tools. Yes. I have the fun little ones that kind of go like that on your head, like the little metal ones. Yes. Everyone loves that one. It's so funny to watch people's reactions because no one gets touched. Like gentle touch is not a thing. I've noticed that. So people are like, oh my God. And it's the funniest thing. And then from there, I will, kind of assess, see what else I need to do. Sometimes I use a scraping tool if they have like psoriasis or dandruff, like a lot of buildup.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're doing that, I'll put the steamer in the bowl and then continue the facial. And once I continue the facial, put a jade mask on, do some red light therapy, blue light therapy, that kind of thing. And then once all of those are done, moisturize them up, get them back to my chair, and then microscope, take some after pictures. And people love seeing the difference. And like, because, you know, you're paying a good $175 for a service like that. So I want people to see exactly what they're getting.
Exactly.
And so we take pictures, kind of look at that before and after. And if people really, like, I have scalp psoriasis, which is why I'm so dedicated to, like, scalp therapy and stuff, because I didn't have this growing up.
Yes.
And it's almost embarrassing to go to a salon and be like, I have a lot of buildup on my scalp from a week of not washing it, you know? And they're like, oh, she's dirty. No, I just have a terrible condition.
Conditioning.
Get that out. And so after that, we just style as usual. I like including a blowout. I feel like you can't see the fruits of your labor if you don't finish it.
Yes.
Kind of like a haircut. Like, you can go to Great Clips and get a haircut. It could be great, but if they don't finish it, it's still a shitty haircut.
Yes.
So I finish it off, and then I usually send them with a cute little goodie bag of like samples that I use if they really like, from Dermalogica, if they really like the facial, and then a few things to kind of upkeep with their scalp.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm thinking, man, where's she been? You haven't been there very long though, have you?
January. Yeah, since January, and I love it. It's really nice having my own creative space.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going into your third month.
Yeah.
So how are clients?
Sparse here and there, but I have a lot of high ticket services, and people really love coming in for those high ticket services. So I'll get like scalp treatment, a highlight, you know, or like I'll have people kind of stack those services. So they'll get a scalp treatment and a highlight before or after, and then get, you know, like a facial add-on, or just like a little like under eye mask, or they'll get a haircut. And so I've been able to, in my first 3 months, pretty much break even between like rent and products. So while I'm not making profit, that's fine. I would rather break even than go under. So I'm grateful.
Yes.
And I have a lot of regulars that come get like a silk press or like a blowout. So I have like a little weekly blowout special to where you can either pay $100 up front for the month and you can just come weekly, so $25, or $35 per blowout. Obviously, you want $10 off. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of older women love that. So
I bet.
They're like, oh, it's like the beauty parlor, but like for myself. And I'm like, I love that for you.
They're like, I'm getting my therapy session in,
Oh,
girl.
yes. And they yap.
Yes.
They love it. And I'm just listening. I'm like, tell me what your granddaughter did. How'd she piss you off today, girl? That's crazy. Anyways.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to talk about this clientele.
Let's talk about clientele.
I know you want to talk about the clientele, and I don't want to talk about it, but I want to listen about it, because I feel like women should always support women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say there's things coming at me right now that I'm just like blown away about, because I'm just like, how does people treat people like that? Why do you not support this woman and what she does? Like, there's a woman right here doing all this stuff that you want, but you won't go pay for it. Why? Why? Tell me.
You know, the trends that I'm seeing, I'm in a salon suite. So there are other spaces like exactly like mine, not quite, but same overall experience around me. And so a lot of people, they look at longevity. They look at someone they can relate to. And I mean, they look at pricing. And for me, it's like, I know that the experience is worth the price, so I don't compromise on that.
Yeah.
Also, I have a luxury experience, so I'm looking for a luxury clientele.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, hair, facials, it is a luxury.
Yes.
It's just unfortunately what it is. So if you can't really afford the luxury, probably shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Granted, everyone deserves to feel beautiful. And I feel like a $35 blowout, you won't find that many places.
No.
Other places, you know, blow dry bar starts at $55.
Yes.
And that's for basic stuff. That's not for like a $2 scalp treatment, or even like a deep condition. That comes with most of mine if the person needs it.
Yeah.
Others, you got to add on $20, $30 services to that. So it's like well, and I don't feel like people trust me quite yet, I'll be
Like,
honest.
girl, I don't even know about you yet.
No, yeah, and I think that's it. They're like, well, because I always get the questions, well, how long have you been here? How long have you been doing hair? And it's like, well, technically, I've been doing hair for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that's not long enough, but your work is beautiful. It's like they're confused. They're like, how does she do that well, but she's only been doing this for 2 years?
Say, girl, I'm just that damn good. Like, do you not see these prices? This is what I'm
Yeah.
worth to you.
And I'm giving myself some time. I've been there 3 months max. And so I'm starting to also realize, the longer I'm there, the more people will trust my stability.
Yes.
So that's when, when I'm there for 6 months, that's when I can start doing subscription services. You pay, like for people who have really bad scalp psoriasis, you pay $200 every month. You get, 2 scalp services and, a month, and that can help sustain. But I mean, frankly, I wouldn't be giving $200 for possible services that I may or may not be getting either. So I understand. I get it. Not mad yet,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Now, in July, if the girlies aren't coming, now we got a problem.
Yes, yes. I feel like the services that you offer, like you said with the psoriasis, that is good for like children too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, school kids, they're mean. They are so mean.
So mean.
And I'm just like, girls, if your children have this, like, get them over there to her spa because she can help them. But 2, because that's going to help that, I'll say little girls, right? Little girls' confidence.
Mhm.
So, the school kids aren't making fun of her. The kids on the bus aren't making fun of her because they see,
Yeah.
The dry skin or whatever on their scalp. And no kid, I feel like no mother wants their kid to go through that, especially.
No, my mom had to watch me kind of go through that, especially in middle school. Like, that's when puberty hits. That's when all those hormones start changing.
Yes.
And, me moving to the U.S., it's a completely different climate.
Mm-hmm.
So my body and my skin was used to this very moist, hot air. And coming here, landlocked, Midwest-ish / South, it's dry. And so my skin kind of had like a culture shock on top of puberty. So in middle school, I struggled.
I bet.
Yeah. And so then I was just like, I'm going to create a way, I actually went into school for dermatology.
Okay.
And I quit because like it was just, the amount of schooling was too overwhelming for what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad was like, well, what do you want to do? And I kind of explained it to him, and he was like, well, why not cosmetology? You have a chemical background, you have a biology background, you know what you're doing. You just can't prescribe anything, but you don't want to.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I got into it. I had the training while I was in school, and I really, really loved it. So yeah, but the head spas are becoming popular,
Mm-hmm.
and my brain likes to stay 10 steps ahead of a trend. And so it is trending, and it's great, and I get it. It's gonna last until it doesn't.
Yes.
And I didn't want to stick to just one thing, especially, in somewhat recession times where people may or may not be able to afford it.
Exactly.
So I want to have options where people still feel like they can enjoy certain things. And so right now, a lot of me and my like cosmetology friends were like, well, what's going to be the trends right now?
Yeah.
And I told them solid colors, like not many people are going to get highlights anymore. Shortcuts, because extensions come from overseas. You got tariffs and stuff. Where does hair come from? China,
Yes.
Europe, Africa. We're not going to find, India, it's going to be super expensive to get those things here. Same thing with bleach. So I'm like, we got to stay ahead of those things, which is why I'm doing holistic scalp treatments too, instead of like, this expensive brand from Europe, like, no, look, green tea, salt scrubs, brown sugar scrubs, little things like that is what I use to exfoliate the scalp, rather than like, your run-of-the-mill product from a tube where and I feel like people also, feel pampered a little bit more
Yes.
when they get those holistic things that they really care about.
Yes. And it's better for the skin.
Way better.
Yes.
Way better.
Yes. Take all the chemicals out.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. So I know we was talking before, and you're thinking about going back for your RN for What reason?
I just, we love a Botox, a filler. I don't know. I feel like it's, like that's going to be the new wave of feeling pretty. It is the new wave of feeling pretty already for a lot of women.
Yeah.
A lot of women have gotten like chin filler, cheek filler. And, you look at before and afters where they're like, oh, I dropped 40 pounds, got some cheek filler, got some lip filler, got some filler in my chin, and a non-surgical rhinoplasty. They look like a whole different person, but they're like glowing. And I feel like there's not a safe space for women of color to do those things here.
And that's what I want to talk about too, because I have a long list of, Black girls that I call my sisters because we just connect like that, right? And every damn one of you that are watching this, this, they have that flawless skin. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not going to say the name, but she knows. She's like 51. I think she just turned 51. And her skin looks like she is like in her 20s.
I bet.
And I'm like, how the hell do you have this like flawless, glowing skin? Like, I'm so jealous right now. I got the doll skin and, it's just pale. I say, I am whiter than white, right? That's what I always say. Like, I don't want to be in the sun because I'm afraid, sunspots, cancer, burn.
Right.
Yeah, all the stuff. So I'm just like, I feel like white people do more of that Botox, fillers, surgical procedures than Black women do.
Yeah. And I feel like it's two reasons for that from what I've seen and experienced. One, I really haven't found any Black women who do it. And it's really hard for us to trust someone that doesn't understand our personal experiences.
Yeah.
So like at one point I had a consultation for some filler. I just wanted, a fuller top lip, nothing crazy.
Okay. And
I saw this person's work and they were only working on smaller lips. So all they knew was almost excessive volume. And I feel like while they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't be able to cater
to what you wanted,
to what I wanted on my face and Black beauty standards, because beauty standards are completely different.
Yes.
What is a fat body to like, white people, white culture, whatever you want to call it. To us, it's like, oh, her body is T. Like, she looks great. She looks healthy. She looks fantastic.
Okay.
Like whether it's like, just having like a huge butt or fuller thighs. Some guys are like, I knew some white guys in college were repulsed by that. Like, why are your thighs touching?
Really?
Yes. A man of almost any other culture. Now things are different.
Yeah.
But, this was almost 10 years ago. But now people are like, no, I need them thighs to touch. I want someone with a big butt, larger breast, whatever. So it's like those attributes are so different in our community. And then also there's no one we can trust, and also we don't know what we don't know. So it's like, I self tan. Okay. A lot of Black girls are like, girl, why do you self tan? Like, we make like one. It just evens out that skin tone. Okay. But you don't even realize, especially for the summertime, it's like I glow.
Really?
Yes. And I love doing it. And when I discovered it from a YouTuber named Jackie Aina, I've been watching her for years. Hey, Jackie, if you're watching. But it made such a difference in like how I felt about my skin as someone with like pretty rough skin, eczema, psoriasis, a bunch of different skin conditions. It really helped boost my confidence. And and it was just like, you really don't know what you don't know until you kind of peek into that. And so I would love to go and get my RN to really explore different options. Yeah. And, make Black women specifically, especially, feel more comfortable. And of course, everyone is welcome. And I feel like also, and I can't speak for everybody, but I've noticed a lot of people, even some of my white clients, they feel so much more comfortable with me than like any other hairstylist, because I think they know I'll tell them the truth. Yeah. Might be a little harsh, but they know I'll tell them, oh, what do you think of my hair? I'm like, well, girl, we'll figure it out, and we'll get you together. But they're like, well, at least you told me the truth, and
Yeah.
you're not just like dilly dallying over the fact that like I kind of look like crap.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I feel like I wanna add to the rap sheet of people who do these things,
Mhm.
but to make women of color feel comfortable.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And that's kind of my mission statement for my place in general. It's like, this is a space for Black women, which it scares me to put that out there
Mhm.
because I don't want it to scare away other people, because it's not exclusionary of other people.
Yeah.
There's just not a luxurious space that I've seen where Black women can come in, feel welcome, feel seen, feel comfortable, feel pampered, and walk out feeling like themselves, but like a new person at the same time. I've yet to see it.
And me being me, I'm going to say, do it. Do it. Because that's the thing. If no one else is doing it, why would you not do it? Because every woman should feel beautiful. I don't care about her color of her skin. Either she's good or she's not, right?
Right.
I don't care. Like, that's the thing with me.
But it's really scary because the egos are very fragile.
Yeah.
Egos are such a fragile thing. And regardless, women's egos especially are very fragile for stuff. We can be such bitches sometimes. And so
She said it. I may have been thinking it, but I was not going to say it.
look, listen, I'm such a girl's girl. But like, if I walked into a place, and I have, and see posters of only white women on the walls, it's a little like, well, dang, like, where's the
Right.
representation? But I feel like for us, that's just the experience that we have.
Yeah.
And while, yes, it's nice for me, it's nice to not like to have an experience like that for ourselves. I also don't want to create that negative experience for
Yeah.
somebody else. And so like having like Black hair art or anything like that, would it be lovely? Absolutely. Am I avoiding that? Probably.
She won't be for long because we're about to have that discussion. Mm-hmm.
It's so uncomfy because like, imagine walking in, you got straight long hair and you walk in, you see cornrows and a fro on the wall. While that shouldn't bother you, it more than likely will, depending on the person.
I'm like, damn, that's beautiful.
And they'll be like, well, do they know how to do my hair? Because I've thought that. I've walked in and been
Yeah.
like,
I can see that.
I don't see a curl in sight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any type of curly extensions.
Yeah.
Little things like that. And so it's like, well, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I even left my last job. It was a great experience. I mean, the man who owned it has been owning that business for 50 years. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about customer service. I learned a lot about speed, how to treat a client, how to maintain those relationships, which like, I'm such a personality hire. I really am. I'm such a personality. Like, the skills, it's nice to have them.
Yeah.
But if you can't communicate with people, especially in, a beauty industry, you're useless.
Yes.
I can teach you to do hair. I can't teach you how to talk to people.
That's
That's what they always told me. And, I left because I had a client, young girl, 13 years old. She's mixed. And
Okay.
her grandmother, we were in the back and there was no room up front. So it was based off like a technicality thing. But we were in the very back and her grandma asked, well, is this the colored people section? Is this like the segregated section? This older white woman, her grandma, asked this in front of her granddaughter. And I was like, okay, yeah. And so it made me think like, do I want to be in this space forever where I know it's not a race thing,
Yeah.
but it's really easy to look like it
Yes.
when you're in a space where no one else looks like you but this one person.
Yep.
And we had one other girl of color. She was Thai and white, and she worked on curly hair. Her name's Beth. She's amazing, and she's like one of like 2 Diva Curl certified girls here before they stopped certifying people.
Okay.
And she was great to learn from. I learned a lot from her about cutting curls, cutting hair, everything. I shadowed her a lot. But again, they were just shoveling anybody with curls to her, and she was getting overwhelmed. She was like,
Yeah.
Why is this the only thing I'm doing? I want to do color. I want to do highlights. Why are you not allowing me to do other things? But it's because she picked a niche and they just slapped her name on it
Mm-hmm.
instead of keeping her well-rounded. And
Yeah.
I saw that for myself there. And so I didn't want that.
No.
And I also, I suggested the head spa tip because we had a spa on the other side of the salon. And I think it was a big investment for him. And I was only there less than 6 months. But he told me one thing and it really stuck to me. He said, "You'll never make money washing hair." And I took that personal. Whether it was okay to take it personal, I don't know. But I took that really, really personal. I was like, So I want to literally wash hair and help people clean their scalps and all these things for a head spa. And the first thing you're going to tell me is you'll never make money washing hair.
And I would have said, watch me. I'm going to take pictures, videos, and send them to you.
And that's quite literally what I said in my head. I was like, okay, watch me. And immediately I went and I toured.
Yes.
Same day for my suite. And I was like, I prayed over the space. I saw, what I wanted, like the space that I wanted, everything. It's the suite I'm in now. Yeah. No one had ever been in it. No one had adjusted it. So I'm the first person to paint it. And I'm the first person to do everything. And I was just like, you know what, God, if this is for me, it'll happen. And I literally left it in God's hands. Mm-hmm. Now, a few months later, 2 months later, we got a bonus from work. And my fiance is Native American. He got a little bit of extra money from his tribe. Mm-hmm. So he was like, if you want to do this, use your bonus. No, he didn't even help me. I did it myself. I saved up money and he said, use your bonus. I got everything else that we were going to use the bonus for because Christmas money, Yeah. And I paid $750 down. And somehow she was like, oh, we're running a special, 2 months rent free. Right.
Damn.
So
Let me sign this real quick.
So I had 2 months to decorate and hone in on my space and just, save up for rent for the next month or two just to make sure I had some grounding. So I didn't take out any business loans. I funded that all by myself. Every check
by herself. Did you hear that? All by herself.
Because I didn't want to. Debt is good for LLC, yes, but I didn't want to run in debt right away if I didn't know this was going to work out for me.
That's true.
But everything worked out great. Family really helped me out. I got every time I got paid, I got products. Mm-hmm. And so I just slowly bought and bought and bought. Yeah. And so, even my mom was shocked when she was like, well, do you need this, that? And I'm like, no, I got a cabinet full of stuff. She was like, what, really? She was like, oh, I'm proud of you. It's like, I'm really proud of you. And so my mom, she bought furniture for me because she was like, well, I want to help you. So she bought a cute little table. She bought me orchids because my place is named Orchid Beauty. So she bought me orchids for my place. So that's that's my focal point. Love it. And then my fiance helped me paint. And then I have one wall and it looks like the inside of an adobe, it's clay and it's very calming neutral colors because of that. And I was like, I really created the space by myself. Mm-hmm. And somehow I've been able to maintain $295 a week.
Girl. But that's going to change. It's going to change.
I'm not complaining. It could be a whole lot worse. Yeah. And the fact that I'm able to maintain my life and my lifestyle, because bougie.
She is bougie.
I like nice things, I'm bougie with food. So it was crazy to leave that place. And I cried a lot when I left, but it was almost like a release.
Yes.
And I think change freaks me out.
Freaks everybody out.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. And somehow we're doing it and we're doing great. So,
And
yay.
you're celebrating yourself, right?
Yeah. I'm trying my hardest to.
Women don't do that enough. They just work. They achieve these goals, but they never stop to think about, hey, I did that. Yeah. Let me just take a day off and go get a scalp massage or something for me, right? No,
really. And I take Mondays to myself. I dedicate Mondays to my son. I'm on appointments and other things, but I just take a day to realize the doctors were like, well, he may be neurodivergent, let's get him into some therapies. So we did. And I found myself scrambling to take him to therapy and then go to work the next day, being exhausted. I only had really one day off a week. And so I created this. Yes, there's financial freedom, but there's also freedom in other things. Mm-hmm. And I really created a way for myself to spend time with him without feeling like I'm missing out on something else. Yeah. And so because I'm able to do that, he's talking more now. He's communicating more. He's eating because, toddlers are picky. He's 2. He's eating more. And so my fiance, he was like, he's like changing. And he was like, I think it's because you're home more. And I was like, yeah, he sees mom and dad more often now. And sometimes I'll take him to my suite with me. I don't have any clients. We'll hang out because I'm paying that rent. Yep. So I'm hanging out.
Exactly.
We'll wait for dad. We'll go around town, do whatever. But, it's just nice to be able to see the work-life balance that I actually want to work out.
Yes.
And still be able to make women feel beautiful and do these things. And, even today I had 2 clients. I had one at 9:30 in the morning. I had another one at 3. And I was able to just relax and breathe. My last job, we couldn't even sit down without something being a problem.
That's great.
And it was a very if you can lean, you can clean type of place, which I get it. You're being paid, you want to be able to maintain a space. But also it was to the point where we were looking for things to do. And even for lunch, we couldn't sit down for 15 minutes before it was a problem. And so I'm like, do I really want to live this way? Mm-hmm. And so for some people, it's the way to run a business. For me, it's not.
Yeah.
And and he did great business-wise with other people, but as an owner and someone who paid people, an employer, it's a little iffy. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I learned also what not to do.
Yes.
So if I ever do own a salon, God willing, that's the path that I decide to take. I'll know, you got to treat people with some dignity too. If you really do need to sit down, then sit down. Mm-hmm. He had 4 apprentices. What do you need 4 apprentices for?
You don't.
And so I also felt like I was almost an unnecessary hire.
Yeah.
And he's going to hate this word if he sees this, I was punished for that.
Yeah.
And one thing he told me is, I don't punish people. He did.
Yep.
And that's okay. We're all human. There's nothing wrong with saying that you retaliate when your feelings are hurt or you're upset.
Yep.
But I wish that would have been told straightforward.
Yep. Exactly.
I appreciate honesty, even if it's terrible honesty.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I kind of went off the rails there.
No, that's good. I love it. I love that, you get to spend time with that baby and you can still work.
Yeah.
I know that is the biggest thing for me because, the kids are 2, well, now 3 and 5. Mm-hmm. So I'm I always tell women, when you have kids, 0 to 5 are those milestones that you do not really want to miss. I understand, some of us can't have our own business or whatever, and we have to go out and get that 9 to 5 job or whatever it may be, mm-hmm. and you miss those milestones. And I know as a mom, it hurts them, right? Because if you're not there for them babies to take their first steps or say mama or dada or, whatever the case may be.
Right, it hurts.
Yes.
I missed my son's first steps because he was at daycare at 7, 8 months old. And I'll never forget that. I was like, wow, this kind of sucks. And so shortly after, I actually got fired from that job. And I was like, well, okay. And my fiance was like, what do you want to do in life? And I was like, well, I want to go to hair school. And he was like, okay, go, I got this. And so he kind of took over, and that allowed me, I was still, doing a 9 to 5, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I was in school. I was making something of myself career-wise, mm-hmm. and not just going from job to job to job. And so that felt a little more fulfilling, yes. And so that kind of brought me to where I am now. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want to know, what do you do when you have a morning appointment and you have that big gap, though? Do you go home or do you stay there and just relax?
I just relax, honestly. I really fostered an environment that I love.
I love it.
I'm such a beige mom. Some people love color. No, not for me. I love a black, white, and brown. I love a neutral. I love warm lighting. Mm-hmm. I love a candle. I love a candle warmer. That's my space. I have It's like I said, like that clay wall, and it has a light that perimeters
Mhm.
the whole wall, and I can dim it, I
Yeah.
can brighten it. I have curtains that kind of close off this space. I have that blanket, and I have like pillows everywhere and everything. I have a little snack bar, I have my fridge. And so it's like I've really fostered an environment where like I could pass out in that place if I really wanted to. It's so comfy. And I have like this cute little comfy chair. And I'll just like, I have neck pillows because a lot of my clients fall asleep.
She's like, let me set this timer because I'm about to take a
No,
4-hour nap.
literally. And so I'll have a lunch or a little snack.
Mhm.
I'll tell Alexa to play some music, some spa music. I'll put my because I have a little face mask.
Mhm.
I'll put a disposable mask on. I'll put my neck pillow and I'll pass out for a little while.
Look at all the
But-
self-care you're doing.
Yes, literally. And
I love that you're just like,
it really I really made an environment so calming that almost everybody falls asleep in there. Like they'll sit there and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You're fine. Do you want the neck pillow?" They're like, "There's a neck pillow." I'm like, "There's a neck pillow," and they'll just have it there and they'll pass out.
I love it. I love it for you.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places. Like I just because even now, like my own home doesn't even feel that comfortable
Yeah.
half the time. So it's like, oh, I love it.
It's because that toddler.
Yeah,
It is.
just just
Yes, I know.
relaxing. Then you hear a train in the background or blippy, and you're like,
Something falling, some kind of commotion.
mhm, something being thrown.
It's like I sit there with my coffee and you hear all this commotion in the background. You're like, oh,
Right.
they're not crying. So do I move or do I keep sitting here and just sipping on my coffee? I think I'll just sit here for a few more minutes. I'll see what happens. We'll see how this
Or he
goes.
terrorizes the cats. Lord Jesus. The cats will come and look at me like, be so for real. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Please continue entertaining the toddler. I call them my babysitters.
I love it. They're like, could you just like have another baby so they can
No,
entertain
literally.
each other?
He'll be like, "Meow." I'm like, this is
Way to
your
go do your
shift.
job.
It's your shift. I'm good.
I love it. I love it. Well, girl, thank you for the last minute phone call. I had somebody lined up for today, but they kind of canceled on me. And so I'm like scrambling. Like, what the hell am I going to do? So, Valerie being Valerie, she's like on the Facebook, like, okay, this person, like is on this list to be on the podcast. I got to go find them, see what they're doing. So, I just messaged like 3 people right in a row. And she's like, okay, well, I need to know by, like 5:30, Valerie. I gotta leave here by 5:30. I'm like, okay. So I messaged her like, I think it was close to 3, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
it
just come on.
3.
She's gonna message me, you all, at like, what was it, 5:30?
It was 5:30 on the dot. Yeah.
Be about 30 or 40 minutes late, Valerie.
I had to pick my baby up.
I was like, what the? I told her at 3.
Listen, to be fair,
I love it.
I had a client. I'm just coming for a haircut, a little trim. She wanted a whole 360, full layers, color. I had a lot going on.
You know how that is.
Mhm. So I was like, I had to fulfill
That's
my
right.
duties,
That's
and
right.
we got her together, and then I had to run and grab my baby, and then
Yes.
come back to Frankfurt. So
It's all good.
here we are.
It's all good. It all worked out, right?
It did.
She ain't gonna say nothing about having to wait an hour for the whole stuff to get set up.
We had
See?
technical difficulties.
That's
It's
right.
fine.
That's right. That's right. It's all good.
It's my
all
karma for being late.
That's right. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Tell them where to find you one more time, and
Yes.
then we'll link it in the bio too,
Yeah.
so they can get online, right?
Yeah.
You said online.
Yeah.
They can get online, book those appointments.
Yeah, you can find me at 243 East Brandon Road in Nicholasville, Kentucky. It's Image Studios, Suite 116 at Brandon Crossing Shopping Center.
What's your days and hours?
Days I work Tuesday through Friday and then every other Saturday. So very particular hours, but just message me, and usually if I'm, not busy that day, I can still squeeze you in. That's not a problem. So if you don't see availability that you like, feel free to email me and I will get to you and we'll get you together.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, girls. Love it. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you watch the advertisement after this, so you can, go do all the things. do the things. Just do the things, guys.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yes, follow, like, subscribe, share. Just send me out to social media everywhere.
You need the algorithm together.
See, where's she been? She knows what. I'm just gonna let her take over the podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and leave right now. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
It's your time to grow. Get started with Little Pot Design Studio today.